Hello, this is Sydney Grimm for EFN Enchanted Forest News, reporting live from the scene of what is sure to be the trial of the century. In a matter of moments, we are about to witness quite possibly the most impressive clash of legal minds this country has seen since once upon a time. After years of delay, we are finally about to witness the trial of the Big Bad Wolf. As many know already, Mr. Wolf escaped a jail sentence when his criminal trial for 3 counts of huffing and puffing with intent to destroy, 2 counts of attempted murder by ingestion, 1 count of grandmother impersonation, 4 counts of attempted sheep abduction, and 17 counts of working, resulted in mistrial, the result of a giant falling on the jury room while they were determining the verdict. Now, a number of parties are filing a class action lawsuit against Mr. Wolf for what they feel has been an infringement on the rights by the now infamous defendant. Oh, it seems the counsel for the plaintiff's Miss Fairy Godmother has arrived, accompanied by Miss Little Red Riding Hood and the young client's grandmother, Mrs. Grandmother. Hello, Miss Godmother. Any words for EFN?
Mr. Wolf is a depraved, cold, calculating killer, and it is only his celebrity status in this forest that has saved him from the hands of criminal justice. He is a depraved criminal, and he has lurked in these forests for years. And as a result, he has influenced my client's rights to live happily ever after. And as you know, I have always fought to ensure that the good people of this forest get the ending that they deserve.
That wolf is gonna get it. We're gonna string him up by his toes and shake him till his money goes right here. And then me and Granny are gonna get ourselves a nice new condo with a pool and
Now, dear, have a seat. That isn't appropriate behavior for television, and we don't want to waste anyone's time. We can't have this trial going on forever, you know. Miss Godmother's clerks alternate demise after midnight tonight.
Yeah, that's lame. You stink.
Well, I never.
Now, she didn't.
Ungrateful little.
Well, haha, there you have it. Oh, here come the other parties filing against Mr. Wolf.
Ooh, television! I like microphones. They make my voice loud. Jimmy!
Ah, yes, the press. Excellent. Yes, I, Pig 3, am plaintiff in this case. I'd be happy to provide an interview, if needed be.
Well, thanks, but...
Well, of course. Well, you see, there was this wolf...
I didn't say that.
Say, you're Sydney Grimm, aren't you? You remember me. You covered the Mr. World Lumberjack pageant last year, didn't you? That's right. I won best in flannel and most rugged and handsome.
Yes, Mr. Woodcutter, nice to see you. Ready for this year's pageant, are you?
Sure am.
Hello, Sydney Grimm, EFN. I believe you two are...
I'm an old shepherd, and here's my boy. The boy don't know his manners too well, so we're in a bit of a mess, you see. But we don't want no trouble. Just a little money for the sheep I lost, and to pay for the medical bill for the boy here.
So you must be the boy who cried.
Wolf, yeah, that's me. What's it to you? I was just trying to have a little fun, okay? Like blowing up squirrels with homemade explosives and frying ants with a magnifying glass.
You shut your mouth, boy. He don't mean those things he said. He's just a little, well, boys will be boys, eh?
Right. Well, here he is, the infamous Big Bad Wolf himself. This is a very tense moment in the court right now. Just feel that tension.
I can hear you over there, you know.
Oh, my deepest apologies, Mr. Wolf. Sydney Grimm, EFN. I'm covering the trial today.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Mr. Wolf, who's your attorney and where is he?
She, and I don't know. Her name's Evil's stepmother. Ever heard of her? Apparently, she's some big fancy high-priced lawyer who's gotten pulled in some pro bono work she doesn't want to do. I don't blame her. Barring another giant, I don't stand a chance of damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. So do you have anything you'd like to tell the viewers out there?
I've got nothing to say to the world. The world's got nothing to say to me.
Okay, well then.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Wise Old Man. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that justice is blind. Well, if justice is blind and bats are blind, then justice must be a bat, eh? You may be seated.
The renowned Judge Wise Old Man is presiding over the case today. Judge Man is known for his, well, wisdom. He is known to frequently apply his knowledge as a philosopher to any case. He is also known for his taste for magic beans.
In this court today, we're here to try an individual accused of many heinous crimes. This court is determined that guilty is the opposite of not guilty, and not guilty is the opposite of guilty. Is that it? Very well, shall we begin?
Your Honor, sir, I have no counsel.
Ah, yes, counsel. Well, where's your counsel? You check in your pockets, under the seat cushions, beyond the refrigerator.
No, sir, I haven't, but
You don't have a refrigerator?
that's not what I...
How do you keep your milk fresh? Oh, you're a lawyer. Yes, well, who is it? Oh, Miss Evil's stepmother. She's a lot of fun.
I apologize, Your Honor. Everyone, for my lateness. What? Excuse me, just a minute.
Well, just stand then. Again, I apologize to everyone.
May I inquire as to why you were late, counselor?
You know what? I would come up with an excuse, but really, forget it. I don't do pro bono work, so I'm not all that excited about this case, to be honest with you. Plus, I think it's pretty much doomed to failure, so I didn't really prepare a whole lot, and I was kind of pulling some things together at the last minute, and I was up late last night yelling at my stepdaughter to clean the cinders out of the fireplace, so I thought I'd sleep in a little and treat myself to a nice, long breakfast with my witness and colleague over there. So, we're gonna get this thing going? I've got a facial scheduled at 5.
Yes, of course, right away.
Objection.
The trial hasn't even started yet.
Your Honor, I object to the counsel for the defense's attitude. Clearly, she's making a mockery of this courtroom, and you are allowing it.
I am? Well, that's not good. Miss Stepmother, a bit of wisdom for you. Being late, it's wrong. Wrong is the opposite of right. Right is the opposite of left. Therefore, if you were late again, you're going to have to ask to leave. Now then, the court is in session. Oh, opening remarks, Miss Godmother.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to correct a grave injustice. By chance, Mr. Wolf has spared the punishment that he rightfully deserves, and he is a depraved criminal. He has lurked in these forests for years, preying on innocent little girls.
Yeah!
Shush, child, behave yourself. Innocent little girls, innocent little pigs, innocent little boys, innocent little old women, and innocent little sheep. My clients have been tricked, threatened, eaten, and robbed. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Because of a mere accident, this twisted fiend will not receive the punishment that he rightfully deserves. So we must take from him everything that we can. That beast over there must be left with nothing, because he has left my clients hurt, frightened, and homeless. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Godmother. Miss Stepmother?
No, I waive it.
What?
You heard me. No statement. Thanks, though.
Very well.
You're not even gonna try. You're not gonna do anything for me.
Look, Wolfie, nobody's going to save you. And even if somebody were going to, it certainly wouldn't be me.
I'm doomed. I'm gonna be robbed blind.
Oh, come on. You did all of it, didn't you?
Yes, but why won't anybody understand?
Understand what?
Miss Godmother, call your first witness, please.
I call to the stand Miss Little Red Riding Hood.
What it's like to have everyone hate you.
Oh, maybe I do.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, sure.
Red, sweetie, how are you, dear?
I'd be a whole lot better if I had that monster's cash.
Right. Well now, Red, sweetie, why don't you tell the nice people of the jury what exactly happened between you and Mr. Wolf on the day in question?
Well, you see, I was walking through the woods, minding my own business, trying to get to my granny's house to bring her some bread, because she's old and sick and stuff. And then this horrible, scary wolf jumps out and pretends to be all nice and stuff. And I'm like, back off! Wolf, and he's like, no, come on, I'm all nice and stuff. Why do you take this shortcut or whatever? Well, I was like, well, who in the world would make up some shortcut? Turns out he did make it up. He made up some like lawn cut or something so that he could get to my granny's house and eat her.
My word, he ate her grandmother. I'm so sorry for you, child. What happened next?
Well, then he dresses my granny and got in her bed.
What? That's appalling. What sort of reason could he have had for doing this?
He wanted to trick me into thinking he was my granny, and when he got close enough, he ate me.
He ate you too. Consumption of a live human being is a felony, ladies and gentlemen, and an obvious deprivation of one's basic rights.
It was horrible until Mr. Woodcutter got us out. It was so dark and clammy and acidic in there.
Oh, it sounds horrible, dear.
It was terrible. I can't take it.
There, why don't you just go and sit back down now?
Okay.
Objection! I haven't cross-examined the witness yet.
Oh, but she's so sad.
Yes, absolutely too sad to be questioned. I'm sorry.
Now wait just a minute here. You can't do that. I have a right to cross-examine the witness.
I'm too sad! See?
Yes, according to Clause A, Section 12345 of the Legal Code 22F, extreme sadness may excuse a witness from further testimony.
Well, if that's the case, then
You just made that up.
the witness is excused.
What?
The witness is excused. Please sit down, Miss Stepmother.
I cannot believe this.
Call your next witness, Miss Godmother.
Oh, I call to the stand Miss Grandmother Hood.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Hans Christian Andersen?
You betcha.
Thank you, Granny.
I'd prefer Mrs. Hood, please.
Oh, yes, of course, Mrs. Hood. Now, tell me something. Do these items belong to you?
Yes, those are my things.
And what were you wearing the day you encountered the defendant?
Those items.
Anything else?
Oh, just my undies, dear, but that's none of your business.
Right. Well now, Mrs. Hood, is it true that when your granddaughter encountered the defendant, he was wearing these exact same items?
Well, not all the exact same items. I had a spare nightgown and bonnet, but only one pair of glasses.
And at this point, he had eaten you, is that correct?
Yes.
So, not only did the big bad wolf eat you, but he made a dear old lady remove her glasses, which she desperately needs in order to see, before he did so?
Yes, it was terrible.
Terrible. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard that word before, haven't we? Mrs. Hood's granddaughter described the events in the exact same way, and quite frankly, I think they are being kind, as it is in their nature to be. Not only did Mr. Bigby Wolf eat a dear old lady and her granddaughter, but insisted that the old lady remove her desperately needed eyeglasses. Without her ability to see, the kind of psychological strain Mrs. Hood must have endured would have been unthinkable. That is all, Mrs. Hood. Your witness?
Oh, I can examine this one? Thanks so much. Mrs. Hood, let me ask you this.
Yes?
How did the defendant get you to remove your glasses? Did he just ask you? None of that is in the statement you gave the authorities. Your statement just jumps from the wolf came in, to he ate me, to then I was joined by my granddaughter in the wolf's stomach. That's all we get. Now, what happened?
Well, actually, I didn't exactly.
I see you're not wearing your contact lenses. Do you own them?
Yes?
And you were able to see just fine then, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I see. One more question, Mrs. Hood.
Yes?
What sort of carpet do you have on your floor?
In what room?
In your bedroom, of course.
Wolfskin?
Wolfskin. Well, that is fascinating. And who made that carpet, Mrs. Hood?
My late husband and myself.
I see. No further questions, Your Honor.
Well, that was a stunning turn of events. This case may prove to be more of a battle for Miss Fairy Godmother than she had planned.
Oh, hush.
The witness is excused. Call your next witness, Miss Godmother.
I call to the stand Mr. Bill Woodcutter.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Hans Christian Andersen?
I do indeedy.
Mr. Woodcutter, what do you do for a living?
I'm a woodcutter. I cut wood. I also compete in lumberjack pageants. I just won best in flannel and...
Yes. So, as a part of your job, you carry an axe. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you're licensed to use that axe in case of emergency, are you not?
I am.
In fact, is it not part of the Woodcutter's code that you must always respond to innocent people in need?
It's part of that code, and I uphold that part of the code.
So in other words, when you encounter an emergency in the woods, you are just obligated to respond quickly and courageously.
Yes.
And so you did, sir. You're a true hero.
Thank you, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Miss Stepmother.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Woodcutter, let's talk about this Woodcutter's code, shall we?
Okay.
How do you know when there's an emergency in the woods that you need to respond to?
Well, it depends. But usually, if I see something wrong, I respond to it.
I see. So you see it then, do you? Well now, Mr. Woodcutter, could you care to tell me what prompted you to go into Mrs. Hood's cottage that day? Did you hear a scream?
Well, no, not exactly.
Did you see the defendant enter the cottage and become suspicious?
No, I was snooping around the house.
Snooping? Whatever for?
I was looking for a pie to steal off the windowsill.
I see. And why ever would you do that? I thought you were a hero.
Woodcutting don't pay so good. That's why I do the pageants. But you only win money if you get first prize, and I haven't done that yet. I was hungry.
I see. So, while you were trying to steal something, you saw in the window what exactly?
I saw that there wolf right there in the old lady's bed, in her clothes, licking his chops.
Well, all right then. But tell me now, Mr. Woodcutter, how did you know that Mr. Wolf hadn't just been a friend of Mrs. Hood's that you didn't know? One who occasionally likes to wear her nightgown? How did you know that Mr. Wolf had eaten your friends, and that the two women weren't simply in the other room?
Well, he's a wolf.
Oh, he's a wolf. So you've just got to cut him open then, huh? Because he's a wolf?
Well, yeah.
No other reason?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Another stirring cross-examination from stepmother. This is interesting. Oh, hush. Why don't we go to commercial?
You can't call 3 witnesses at once.
Your Honor, it is essential to my case that the witnesses be called at one time.
It is?
Well, no, they insist on testifying together.
Why is that?
Your Honor, may I first come in?
Well, this is unorthodox, but I suppose so. Counselors, why don't you join us? Well, what is it?
My siblings aren't really competent to testify without me.
What do you mean?
They're immature?
No, you can say it. They're odd. They're too ditzy.
I see no problem. Miss Stepmother?
I think I'm fine with that.
Very well, the 3 little pigs, please take the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you Hans Christian Andersen?
Who? What?
Yes.
Good enough. Now, would you each please give the court your names?
Huh?
Tell the nice lady your name.
Oh, my name is One.
One, don't you mean?
Don't worry about it.
My name's 12.
My name is 3.
Very well now, One, do you mind telling the court what happened to you in your house?
Yeah, I built a house, then it fell over. Now I live in another house.
And how did your house fall down?
A fox blew it down.
A fox. Are you sure it wasn't a wolf?
Ah! A wolf! Ah! What's the wolf doing here? Ah! It's gonna come and pop and eat me!
Oh, calm down, calm down. Was that the creature that blew down your house?
Yeah, that was the fox.
12. 12.
Oh! Huh! Me. Yeah. Huh?
Did that creature also blow down your house?
No, I live with Monday, and the next house we have a fireplace and a kitchen and
No, your first house. Did he blow down your first house?
Oh, my first house. Oh! Why didn't you ask me that? Yeah, it was that guy.
That wolf, right there.
Well, oh no! Where?
You're safe now. 3. Do you mind telling your story for the court?
Gladly, my dear. You see, me and my siblings have always lived together until last year when we decided to leave our parents and our childhood home and build our own homes.
not too far from each other, but far enough to grant a reasonable amount of independence.
I see.
Well, one day, that blasted, bloated, maniacal wolf came around and blew both of my siblings' homes down, and he came to live with me out of fear that he might attempt to eat them. We're so frightened for such a time as he lurked outside my home. We barely ate, we barely slept, and our personal hygiene went to the dogs. Look at the hair on my chinny chin chin. I haven't shaved in weeks.
Oh, you poor dear, you poor dear.
Yes, it was abominable.
Ladies and gentlemen, these poor pigs were so frightened that they couldn't even shave.
He told us he'd huff and blow our houses down unless we let him in. And he called us little piggies.
But doesn't everyone?
Yes, but he said it in a really mean and nasty sort of way. A way that made me think he was trying to demean us. It hurt my feelings immensely.
Your Honor, this is, well, I have no more questions. I'm too outraged with the defendant's behavior.
Very well, Miss Godmother, have a seat. Miss Stepmother?
Thank you. One, tell me something.
I once tried to pickle my own feet.
What?
I told you something.
Oh, no. I want you to tell me what your first house was made of.
My first house? My first.
Remember? The one you told us about before?
Oh yeah, straw.
Straw. And you, Two?
And me. I am not kosher.
What? Oh. No. I don't just want you to tell me something. I want you to tell me what your first house was made of.
It has nothing to do with me not being kosher.
No, it doesn't.
That's okay.
Yes. What was your house made of?
Sticks.
Sticks. I see. And 3, what is the house in which you constructed? The house in which you all 3 now reside. What is it made of?
Brick.
I see. And it hasn't blown over by means of wolf or anything else?
No.
And it is up to all of the building codes, I assume.
Of course. What do you take me for?
Now 3. What about your siblings' former homes? Are straw and sticks building materials approved by the zoning board?
No, they are not.
I didn't think so. And do you think that your siblings' homes would have lasted long in, say, a hurricane? Or a tornado? Or, well, in a light breeze?
No, I do not.
I see. I think I'm just about done here, but I have one more question.
Yes?
Did my client ever say he was going to eat any of you?
No.
No.
So how do you know that's what he wanted to do? How do you know he wasn't just trying to make sure that your homes were safe and secure?
Well, because,
No further questions, Your Honor.
The 3 little pigs, the witnesses are excused.
I have one more witness, Your Honor.
Call him.
I call to the stand Mr. Old Shepherd.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Hans Christian Andersen?
Yes, I do.
Now, Mr. Shepherd, do you mind telling the court what it is you do for a living?
Well, I'm a shepherd. I herd sheep.
Right. And could you tell us who that boy is?
That's my boy. He watches my sheep sometimes.
Yes, and what did he tell you one day?
Well, there were actually 3 days.
Then why don't you just tell us what happened on the 3rd day?
On the 3rd day, the boy cried out that there was a wolf in the field. And the wolf stole some of my sheep and ate them and threatened the boy up a tree.
I see.
And no one came to help the boy out because, well, you see, the 2 days before...
That's really enough. Thank you so much, Mr. Shepherd.
I suppose so.
No more questions, Your Honor. Your witness, counselor?
Thank you. Mr. Shepherd, why don't we keep this brief? Why don't you just tell the members of the jury what happened on the first 2 days you mentioned?
On the 1st day, the boy cried out that there was a wolf in the field. And there was no wolf. He did the same thing the next day. So on the last day, nobody done came up to check it out.
I see. So your boy isn't very reliable, is he?
Well, I just...
And no one but the boy actually saw my sheep stolen by the wolf or threatened him?
Well, no.
I see. And the only way that we could know that it was this particular wolf is by hearing what the boy has to say, is it not?
I suppose so.
I see. This man's testimony is essentially hearsay, Your Honor.
Yes, why are you still talking to him?
You were excused, Mr. Shepherd.
Does the counsel of the plaintiffs have any further witnesses to call?
No.
Miss Stepmother?
Yes, well, the defense would like to call to the stand a surprise hostile witness. The defense would like to call to the stand the boy who cried wolf.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be good.
Come along, young man.
I don't want to.
I'm afraid you have to, son.
Well, fine then.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Hans Christian Andersen?
Sure.
Very well. Tell me something, young man. Did you ever, on any day, see a wolf in the field?
Yeah, sure, just like the old guy said.
So, on the third day, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just wondering, why did you pretend on the other 2 days?
Well, because I thought it would be funny. And it was. You should have seen all the look on their shocked faces.
I see. And I'm just wondering why, specifically, did you cry wolf on the days in which you pretended, rather than something else?
Well, because everyone knows wolves are bad, big and bad, you know.
Oh, so wolves are just naturally bad, huh?
Yeah.
But not little boys, huh?
No.
Are you aware that a prank emergency call is a crime, young man?
Yeah, sure. Someone's always trying to spoil my fun.
So you knew that you were breaking the law when you cried wolf?
Well, yeah.
But wolves are just naturally bad?
Look, I don't need this from you, lady.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the counsel of the plaintiffs have any further questions?
Look, can I go? I gotta go flush some live fish down your toilet.
No. Miss Stepmother.
Yes, well, the defense would like to call to the stand Miss Muffet. She's a renowned psychiatrist with years of hands-on experience in the deep, dark woods.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Hans Christian Andersen?
I don't like swearing.
I'm afraid you must, Miss Muffet.
All right, yes, I swear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You may be seated, Miss Muffet.
Oh, no.
Pardon?
I need a tuffet.
A what?
A tuffet, sir. She needs a tuffet.
Ah, yes, well, someone go fetch a tuffet, please.
I don't think anyone knows what that is.
Oh, thank heavens! Neither do I.
I'm sorry, sir. She is a bit neurotic, but she's the best psychiatrist around. If you have a tuffet anywhere.
What is taking so long?
The Miss Muffet requires
A tuffet. I cannot sit without a tuffet.
like that. Like I always say, there's no such thing as good psychiatry without a tuffet. Now, what all good and decent is a tuffet?
I'm not so sure. I think she's just made it up. Why don't we just have her stand?
Very well, Miss Muffet, the state is unable to provide you with a said tuffet. Do you mind standing?
My legs are so tired, I need a tuffet.
Please?
Well,
Oh, this is ridiculous. Would you just sit already? Look, just.
Oh, there's a spider on my chair, a spider. I need some curds and whey. I need them so badly.
Like a wise philosopher once said, curds and whey, your day's okay.
Right. Yes. Of course, Your Honor. In any event, I apologize for the behavior of my witness. May I simply call to the stand my final witness?
Yes, of course.
The defense would like to call to the stand Mr. Big B. Wolf.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Hans Christian Andersen?
I do.
Mr. Wolf, why don't we keep this brief?
Very well.
Why don't you just tell the members of the jury what you have to say about all of this?
Yes, I'd like to. I'm not sure where to begin. Well, I'm a wolf of few words, but here goes. When I was just a cub, I lived a pretty carefree life. I stayed in the cave mostly and played with my brothers and sisters, and Mother brought us home some meat every night for dinner. One night, Mother brought us home something different, a human baby. We raised the baby as one of our own, and I loved my sister like she was a wolf herself. Then one day, she returned to her kind, and I never saw her again. I swore that day, though, I would always love and protect creatures of other species, and I swore off the usual activities of wolfhood and became a vegan. One day, when I was looking for dandelions in a field of sheep, a boy began to growl, "Wolf, wolf, he's taking my sheep, he's gonna eat me." I suddenly became enraged. How could this boy suspect me of doing what I was sworn never to do? I yelled at him, trying to tell him I was a good wolf, but the more I yelled, the angrier I became because the boy just kept on screaming. In a blind rage, I took a sheep and scared him half to death. I ate those sheep that night. After that, I tried to pull my wits together and go back to my old ways, but every time I encountered a creature of another species, he or she would run from me, distrust me, scream or something of the sort. I never meant to hurt anybody, but gradually, I had no house in the rack with the world. I turned to life of crime. I did all the things I've been accused of, I admit it, but I can only ask that for once. If you have mercy on me, if you take pity, then maybe I'll be able to stop. That's all, I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you.
Does the counsel of the plaintiff have any further questions?
No.
Very well.
Stop the trial, stop the trial. As I was leaving, I saw the television live broadcast of my brother.
What?
It's been so long you don't recognize me anymore.
Oh my, sister, this is wow. I can't believe it.
What?
The courtroom was thrown into chaos here today as renowned psychiatrist Miss Muffet revealed her true identity as the adopted human sister of the accused. Miss Fairy Godmother delivered a brief closing statement in which she restated the facts brought up by her witnesses. Miss Evil Stepmother informed the jury that Mr. Wolf had not been born a criminal, but made one simply because the society in which he lived had viewed him as such, and if the jury were to show some compassion, the first Mr. Wolf had ever known, his ways might begin to change. Now we'll take you back to the courtroom where the jury is about to deliver the verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to give us a verdict.
But they haven't even left the room yet.
We don't have time for that. I wish they would just get on with it. All those lawyers yakking away and the witnesses crying and the judges. Oh, don't even get me started.
You're not gonna send them out to deliberate?
No, we'll have them clap. It's much easier, don't you think? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need your help. But before I ask you for a decision, I'm going to give you a few words. Words of wisdom that may help you along the way. Like a wise philosopher once said, juries, they're like submarine sandwiches. They're good with mayo and hot peppers. Pardon? Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
No matter what happens, I just want to say thanks.
You know, kid, I'm glad I got pulled into this case. I think I know where you're coming from. I need to talk to my stepdaughter.
When I raise my gavel, I'd like anyone who thinks the defendant, Mr. Bigby Wolf, is guilty, that's guilty, with a J. Really, a G? Anyone who thinks the defendant, Mr. Bigby Wolf, is guilty, with a G, should applaud as loudly as you can now. Very good. Now, when I raise my gavel again, I'd like anyone who thinks the defendant is innocent, that's innocent anyone who thinks the defendant, Mr. Bigby Wolf, is innocent, applaud as loudly as you can now. Very good. Now, if you'll give me a moment to make some calculations. Miss Muffet, 1, 2, 3, okay. The jury has reached a verdict. We find the defendant innocent on all accounts. What? Settle down.
How fancy lawyer you are! You're gonna win a case your life depended on it.
Now, boy! Oh, fiddlesticks, I'll
Yay, innocent, we won! Yay!
You're both goons. Find your own way home.
Well, Wolfie, we did it.
Yeah, thanks a ton.
You bet.
You want to go grab a steak?
Huh? You mean you're not going to become a vegan again?
Are you kidding? Now that I've acquired a taste for savory meat?
I'll go with you, brother.
It was nice seeing you all insist, but I'm not really touchy-feely kind of guy. And you need to lay off about the whole tougher thing anyway. You're way too high-strung. Thanks again, lady. See you around.
I can't believe this.
You want some curds and whey?
Well, folks, that's that. And Mr. Wolf has gotten off scot-free. Your Honor, do you have any final words of wisdom before we sign off?
My mother, who was a wise woman, always said, where there's a wall, there's a window. And where there's window, there's glass. And where there's glass, sometimes a baseball will go through it, then we're going to have to pay a lot of money to fix it. That's it. Thanks, kid.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Well, folks, this is Cindy Grimm for EFN saying, may your ever afters always be happy.